Towards the end of Elizabeth I's reign in the 1590s, her court, which had long been a source of stability and governance, began to fracture into rival factions, leading to a period of political tension and intrigue. As Elizabeth grew older, several of her key advisers, including her trusted minister William Cecil, Lord Burghley, were either aging or had died, leaving a power vacuum that younger, ambitious courtiers sought to fill. The two most prominent figures in this new struggle for power were Robert Cecil, the son of William Cecil, and Robert Devereux, the Earl of Essex. Cecil, a shrewd and experienced politician, took on many of his father's responsibilities and was seen as the Queen's closest advisor. Essex, on the other hand, was a charismatic and impulsive favourite of Elizabeth, who had gained military fame and sought to expand his influence at court. The rivalry between Cecil and Essex became increasingly bitter as they competed for the Queen's favour and the power that came with it. Essex, frustrated by his perceived exclusion from key decisions and the rising influence of Cecil, grew more reckless and began to challenge the authority of the Queen and her government openly. His behaviour became erratic, especially after he failed in his military campaign in Ireland in 1599, which had been intended to suppress a rebellion, but ended in a humiliating truce that was seen as a failure. Upon his return to England, Essex's relationship with Elizabeth deteriorated further, and he was placed under house arrest for defying the Queen's orders. In 1601, Essex's frustration and ambition reached a breaking point, leading him to launch a rebellion against the Queen. On the morning of February 8th, he and about 300 supporters, including disgruntled nobles and soldiers, marched through the streets of London, hoping to rally the populace to his cause. Essex aimed to seize control of the court, overthrow his rivals, and force the Queen to remove those he saw as corrupt councillors, particularly Robert Cecil. However, the rebellion was poorly planned and executed. Essex had misjudged the level of support he could muster. The people of London did not rise to support him, and the Privy Council quickly organised a response. Within hours, Essex and his followers were surrounded, and he was forced to surrender. The Essex Rebellion exposed deep divisions within Elizabeth's court and highlighted the extent to which internal conflicts had begun to undermine her authority. The Queen, who had long been seen as a symbol of stability and effective governance, now appeared vulnerable to the political infighting and discontent among her closest advisers and subjects. The rebellion was a stark indication that the unity and loyalty she had relied upon for most of her reign were beginning to crumble. Elizabeth's swift response to the rebellion, which resulted in Essex's trial for treason and subsequent execution, demonstrated her determination to reassert control, but it also revealed the underlying tensions and challenges of her final years. As the Queen's health declined and her most trusted advisers passed away, the once cohesive court was increasingly consumed by factionalism and intrigue. This conflict at court, combined with economic difficulties, military setbacks, and a sense of growing uncertainty about the future, undermined Elizabeth's authority and cast a shadow over the final years of her reign, even as she remained a beloved monarch to many. Her death in 1603 marked the end of the Tudor dynasty, leaving unresolved the factional divisions that had defined the latter part of her rule.